Greetings everybody, Brother Dan Goodwin, your host, God's Final Jubilee program. This is November the 7th, the day after the big midterm election. I'm sure you can tell my voice is not good. I'm battling a bad cold. I'm going to be very brief because my voice, quite honestly, is not going to hold out very long. A couple things to share with you. First of all, the brand new book, of course, is out. 7 clocks are ticking. And it is now, the paperback is on my website, godsfinaljubilee.com. It's also on Amazon. If you're an Amazon person, the book can be got on Amazon. And at the request of many of you, it is now on Amazon Kindle. So if you're an ebook Kindle reader, you can now get the book on Kindle, okay, on Amazon. All right, we're in the midst of a huge happening. I mean, you can't keep up. There's so much going on in the news. And by the way, this all has to do with prophecy. All this political stuff, it all goes back to what's coming, the global empire. That's what this big fight with Trump is all about. It's globalist-minded people. Now, not all of them. Some of them are doing the bidding of the globalists. They just don't realize what they're doing. They're being used as pawns in the big global system. So understand that. Not everybody that is doing wrong in Congress or in our legislature, they're not all bad people. A lot of them are just being for political reasons or to get votes or to get money or whatever. They're being used by the system. But look back at the whole big picture here. This is globalism trying to take over. That's why they hate Trump. That's why people on both sides, Republicans and Democrats, there are some what we call the rhinos or the moderate Republicans. They hate Trump because he has come in. He's an outsider. I don't care what you say or what you think about Trump. He's an outsider. He's never held political office in his life. Nothing. So this is unbelievable what's happened. So. All right, so the election yesterday, or November 6th, depending on when you're watching this video. Some of you think it was worse than it really is because everyone's saying it's a blue wave. It was not a blue wave by any means. In fact, it's a victory for the Republicans. We took the Senate. We got 4 or 5 seats more in the Senate. We took some governors. We took Florida and Ohio and all the people that Obama and Oprah and all them spent millions and gave speeches for, they all lost. Huge developments here. Listen, we don't need the House right now. The House did its job. They did the investigations, and those investigations went nowhere because we didn't have an attorney general to prosecute or to bring him before a grand jury. Guess what? Jeff Sessions resigned this morning. I predicted that last night. I said... posted somewhere, I don't remember where, but I said this isn't as bad as you think. All Trump needs to do is get a new attorney general and let that attorney general take all the information they already have and start get a grand jury going and get people arrested. And that just happened today. Jeff Sessions, at the request of the president, has resigned. And now the new Attorney General, acting Attorney General, is our guy. He's a guy that's already spoken out against Mr. Mueller and his team. And so, by the way, he has replaced Mr. Rosenstein. Now when Mueller reports and brings his final report, he doesn't give that to Rosenstein. He gives it to the new guy. And the new guy decides what to do with that. Okay? Now, all right, they're all saying we lost 35 seats. No, we didn't. We lost 35 seats, but here's what you don't realize. We were up 23 seats in the House. We lost 35 seats. So we are now, there's just a 12-seat difference between the Republicans in the House and the Democrat. Do you see the difference? See how different that sounds when you hear somebody say that? You see, most people think that there's 35 more Democrats. No, there's 12. That's not a blue wave. And by the way, let them go ahead and try to impeach the president. Let them go ahead. It'll never go anywhere. It'll never get past the Senate. You need 2/3 of the Senate to impeach somebody. By the way, the investigation, if we got the right Attorney General now, the investigation can go on. We don't need the House. The House has got nothing to do with it, and they can't stop it. The investigation can now go on. They can bring charges against Hillary and all these Comey and all these guys, Gates and Strzok and all these people. Now justice can be served. The House has got nothing to do with that. Okay, the House can subpoena different people. They can investigate the president all they want. But there's nothing there. So listen, don't worry about this. Everything is fine. This is amazing what happened last night on the election day. Everybody was saying it was going to be far worse than this. And by the way, it was not. So let me give you a couple things here about what this is really all about, what's going on. You say, well, why are the elections so close now? And why are we losing in some of these places? And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you what's going on in our country and why the country is shifting. Now, there's other reasons, but there's spiritual reasons. Christians are not what they used to be, and conservatism. But here's one of the major problems. It's called immigration. It's called people from other nations coming to our nation, but they no longer fit in anymore like they used to. Now they're coming in, but they don't fit in. They don't learn our language. They don't learn our customs. They don't. And so most of them have no idea what freedom's all about. They don't understand our constitutional system. They come from countries where socialism rules, and they come here and they don't understand. And that's why the Democrats want to open the borders and bring them in, because they vote on their side because they don't understand us. Let me read you something here in Daniel chapter 2. I want to talk to you about being diverse seed, diversity. And note the use of the terms mixed and diverse. This is from the book, 7 Clocks Are Ticking, on page 166. This is the chapter called Daniel's Ticking Clock. This is about the kingdoms of the world. And the final kingdom before Christ comes is going to have diverse seed. Or I should say the kingdom that takes over with the Antichrist is going to be diverse from all of the kingdoms. And there's different opinions by different folks on what that means. And I'm going to share what my view is here. Note in the verses here, and I've underlined them here, we got in Daniel chapter 2, verses 41 through 43. Whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided. Does that sound like a little bit like us? But there shall be in it the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. And the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay. So the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And whereas thou saw the iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men. But they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. Did you catch that? They shall not cleave one to another. What we've got in our country is diversity. And it's being shoved down our throat. It's being taught in our colleges. It's even in our pulpits in America. We think, hey, we're all different, but we can all get along. And no, we can't. Not without some common denominators. What's happened in our country is diversity. And diversity is not a strength. It is a weakness. Now, years ago when people came to our country, they learned our customs and they learned our ways and they learned our language. That's not very true anymore, is it? There's whole communities and towns in our nation where they don't even speak English, and you'll never fit in with one another that way. And people are not not fitting in, not becoming Americanized, and what used to be a Christian nation. Daniel 7 is the same story, but it's from Daniel's perspective. He talks about diverse from all beasts that were before it. Diversity. The fourth beast, this is chapter 7, verse 23 of Daniel. The fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. Diversity. Now, let me make a statement here. Now this is the revived Roman Empire we're talking about. They shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another. The last kingdom is made up of all the qualities of the first four kingdoms. That's Babylon, Persia, Greece, and Rome. The last kingdom is made up of all the qualities from all four of them. In other words, it has many ethnic and cultural differences and customs. After all, it is a kingdom made up of the whole world. Because of this, there will be a diversity of languages, an array of differing opinions and values. You know, one guy thinks it's okay to beat his wife. One ethnic, you know, culture believes the women walk behind you and they're to be spat upon and they're to be slapped around. And then another believes something else. Others believe, you know, you have 10 wives and, you know, different cultures and ethnic value systems. And you see a problem with that when you try to mingle together. You want diversity. Immigration to America used to require assimilation into society by acquiring a skill and learning to speak the language. This is no longer the case today. As a result, we are seeing the wisdom of what God conveyed in the scriptures many years ago. And here's the statement I want you to get. Diversity in language and culture does not strengthen a country or its population. Diversity does not strengthen a culture or a country or its population. It weakens it. Diversity weakens. That is the truth of God. I am not talking about being racist. I'm talking about the language, religious, and cultural differences that do not mix. Look what happened at the Tower of Babel. In order to counter the evil that was taking place there, God changed the languages to stop the work and to separate the people one from another. Today, Europe is falling apart because of diversity. And America is not far behind. Now, that's just a quick rundown of that. There's a whole lot more, but listen, a lot going on. I would not be surprised to see in the next few days more people being replaced in the administration. I wouldn't be surprised to see Mr. Mueller come out with his report. They're going to try to, the Democrats are going to try to force the acting attorney general. They're going to try to force him out or force him to recuse himself. Listen, just hold fast. We've got a guy in the White House that's an outsider, a guy who's smart, terribly smart. The guy doesn't sleep. Look, back him up. Pray for him. Pray for our nation. Now, let me say this before I go. This is the 7th of November. Today, my first of 4 programs with Prosperity News is on YouTube, and it's on TV. If you get Prosperity News TV at your place, but if not, you can go to the internet, go to YouTube. It's on my Facebook page. You can find it there, or just go to YouTube and look for Prophecy in the News, and you'll find all their programs there. I have 2 YouTubes that came out. Monday, a 7 or 8 minute one came out. Tuesday, another short one came out. But today, November 7th, the actual 28-minute program. This is program number 1 of 4. And I want you to watch that. And here's what I'd like you to be an encouragement to Prosperity News. They're really going through a tough time right now. What I'd like you to do is watch the program, and if you liked it, I'd like you to send an email to Prophecy News. Just go to their website, prophecynews.com, find their email. Either send them an email and comment that you enjoyed the program that you watched and whatnot, or better, give them a call. Call the 800 number on there and leave a comment for Miss Linda Church and tell her how much you enjoyed the program you watched, and do that. It'd be an encouragement to them and be an encouragement to me as well. So appreciate that. So be sure and go and watch the program and send an email to Prosperity News or make a phone call and tell them how much you enjoyed their ministry and all that. So, all right, with that in mind, we'll let you go. You're watching the God's Found Jubilee program, and I got a bad cold. My voice is leaving me, and I'm going to let it go there. So keep yourself posted about what's going on, and don't get discouraged. Things are heating up. These are exciting days. We'll see you next time.